Two. What up? What up? What's really, really good? Facebook, we're a few minutes behind. That is my fault. But with that said, we have a few minutes together for a pretty incredible show. The theme of today is live, is the blueprint to a successful wholesaling company. We're going to be deep diving and getting some practical information as well as some of the intangible stuff. And the cool thing about today's live, many of you are already familiar with my guy, my friend, member of the AW community, Ryan Wilkerson. What's good, fam? How are you?
What's up, my guy? I'm great, man.
Guy, guys, Ryan is actually going to be taking the lead with today's call. And I'm incredibly excited about it because Ryan is the one who came up with this idea. And I was like, dude, let's run it. This is going to be pretty incredible. So it's a little bit different. And right after this intro, we're going to make it happen. And Ryan's going to take the floor and I'm going to be supporting Cass. So I'm really excited. After this 30-second intro, we're going to make it happen. Y'all, put in the comments section what city, what state you're in. That way we can shout you guys out and show you some love. Let's make it happen.
Let's go.
We made it, that's facts, ayy. We the greatest, that's facts, ayy. Prices raising, that's facts, ayy. That's right. But we paid it, that's facts, ayy. I did. We hate it, that's facts, ayy. Cause we changing, that's facts, ayy. We did. Can't blame them, that's facts, ayy. Cause we made it, that's facts, ayy. Cherry on top, that's a goat, yeah. Where you been, I wanna know, yeah. Greatest story ever told, yeah. Greatest story ever told, yeah. I know you wanna look up for this. Baby, let me turn you up a bit. You said you made it through hell and back. Give me the school, baby, tell the facts. Don't be shy.
Ryan, the floor is yours, my guy.
Man, that intro gets me every time, bro. Gets me fired up every time. All right, so I am going to be taking over today, running this live. Yeah, if you've tuned in before, you've seen Aaron and I think we've done 3 of these together now.
Yep.
Right? Over a couple of different topics, but primarily a lot of that focus has been on, my real estate investing journey as a mentee of yours. And so I kind of wanted to flip the script a little bit today for everybody because everyone that tunes in to watch these lives with you, I mean, this is your brand, this is your audience, these are your followers. And I think a lot of people that are aspiring to get into the wholesaling space, they look at where you are and your level of success or anyone who's in that like top 10% of wholesalers, right? Your wholesaling goats, your wholesaling gurus. And as badly as they want to have the things that you have, they can't really relate, right? It's almost like unfathomable to see themselves where you are based on where they are in their current situation. So I wanted to put together a little bit of an interview with you today because I wanted to kind of reverse engineer it to show people what a difference, your life can look like in 5 years, right? Like how you can completely change the whole trajectory of your life through this crazy business that we're in. And really break down and get to know you and your business and how you got here and the pain points and struggles that you've gone through to build to get where you are today, to become the person you are today. Because we all view you and look at you and know you as this guy, right? You're that dude. So I want to inspire the people that are trying to come up and get into this business to show them in a really short period of time how they can be at that level as well. So if you're game, let's get after it.
I'm game, bro. I'm game. I love this. This is different. It's exciting, and I'm here to serve. So let's rock and roll.
Yeah, man. So the first question is how long have you been wholesaling real estate?
I started wholesaling in 2017. My first deal I did towards the end of 2017. And 2018 was my first full year in the business. So give or take 5 years plus, 5+ years.
2018. So you jumped in 2018.
Yeah.
And what were you doing before? Like before you jumped into wholesaling and like made this your thing and building businesses your thing? Like what were you doing before 2018?
So prior to getting into sales, I was a painter. Yeah, I didn't have any inherent skills. I'm a high school dropout. I didn't go to college. I didn't have any trades. So I was just a painter. And prior to getting into the wholesaling industry, I was selling mobile homes. And I advanced pretty quickly. I found out that sales was something that I was very, very excited about, and building teams was something that excited me, and self-development, and this idea of building a little army. And so that's what turned me on to the entrepreneurship and that aspect of the business. But yeah, that's what I was doing prior to going full time into wholesaling, because towards the end of my sales career, working for another company, I'm doing wholesale deals and stacking up my little war chest of cash. That way I can go out on my own.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. That's crazy to think, right? That you went from, if anyone had asked me in looking at you now, where were you 5 years ago? That's such a stark contrast, to where you are now to where you were before you jumped into this business. And so, you just alluded to a little bit like some of the sales aspect of like you started finding like a natural niche and talent and passion for sales. You know, was it a pain point that led you to jump into like betting on yourself and going into the wholesaling space? Or what?
I think my man is gone temporarily. I think what he was gonna ask is, while we wait for my guy Ryan to come back. Let me go ahead and remove him from the screen. I think the question that he was asking was there a particular pain point that caused me to go all into the wholesaling, and did I use that as fuel, or was it the pursuit of a pleasure, the pursuit of a goal? And he can correct me if I'm wrong in assuming that that's what his question was, but I would say it was definitely a pain point. Now, there was the pursuit of a goal, but it was definitely a pain point, no doubt, in that I was, I felt a measure of humiliation and shame of not having the things that I wanted and the money that I wanted. And it wasn't really like a materialistic thing as much as it was like I just wasn't happy with where I was, and I was like, I knew I wasn't living up to my potential. And I can get very competitive and obsessive over topics and over things that are important to me. And so I went all in on the decision and choice to become an entrepreneur, because I realized very early on that there was a connection between self-development and the size of my business and the size of my impact and the size of my life. So there is a direct correlation between my success as an entrepreneur and my self-development. So I became very, very like competitive with myself and very competitive with life, that I was going to go all in on entrepreneurship and growth. My guy Ryan is back. So Ryan, I assumed
Sorry,
that the
y'all.
no, you're good. I assumed that the question was going to be, was there a pain point that caused me to go all in, or was there more of a pursuit of a pleasure or goal? But what was
Yeah,
that
correct.
question?
Yeah, that was my question, right? I mean, I think ordinarily there's like only one of three ways that people like really get into pursuit of goals, right? It's either the pain of where they are is surpassing the pain of who they have to be to get the things that they want, or the pain they're experiencing where they are currently is surpassing the fear that they have of getting started and doing something that they want to pursue. And the third being is just like the realization of like, I'm really good at this. And this is like what I'm finding my passion, and this is where I'm going to go all in. So like, which one of those avenues was it for you?
And let me expound on it a little bit further, bro. I have very deep insecurities that were instilled in me coincidentally through certain traumas in my life and
Sure.
and things that I've been through. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell a sob story. I don't even like that. I don't like. But what I will say is that there are certain traumas that I've experienced emotionally that have given me insecurities, or have left me with insecurities about, am I good enough? Am I strong enough? I a fear of poverty, fear of being forgotten, you know what I mean? Things like that. Fear of not having an impact, fear of just being a regular dude on the bench. There's deep insecurities that I've utilized as fuel. And here's another thing. I was a kid that was picked on. I was a kid that was picked on in school. I was a kid that was picked on in my family. So there's a competitive nature in me that's like, I'm gonna show you all. I have something to prove. And maybe that's not a good mindset. I always feel like I have something to prove. Always I have something to prove. And it doesn't mean I'm like, oh, bravado and all that. And yeah, I am actually. But that's one of the things about me. I get competitive and obsessive over things because of that driving force inside of me that I never want to be forgotten. I never want to be last. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that answers your question, Ryan, but that's the thing that came to my heart whenever you asked that.
No, 100%. I think that's really important to talk about, right? Because there's so many people that are followers here, people that are watching here, people in our community, people that come to the events that think about jumping into this space, and there's always that like hesitation. They want it, but they're afraid to make the jump. So I really just wanted to get clarity to show like, here is how someone who's at the top of the game, like this was their mindset. This was like the pivotal point that pushed them to.
I love it.
Right. Okay. So we kind of talked through, why and how, when you made that determination that you were going to jump into this space. Like, tell me about the build up to that decision, though. Like, what you said you knew the moment you started finding your passion for sales, right? You knew you were good at it. You wanted to try to start going all in. You wanted to start stacking some cash. Like, what was the process like getting started? Did you just jump blindly right into this and like learn to fly on the way down? Or did you analysis paralysis, like so many of us do prior to pulling the trigger to get into it?
It was a balance between the two, man. I'll be 100% honest. I went through my YouTube University phase where I'm obsessive. So it was like all I was looking at on YouTube, all I was listening to when I was in the car was wholesaling real estate. Success stories and strategies and principles, and anybody who was distributing content on wholesaling real estate, I was consuming it like a ravenous wolf. So there was that information gathering phase. But the one thing about me, dude, is I need to start taking action. So I was already driving for dollars, and then I would go to True People Search, and I would type in their numbers, and then I would reach and then I would call them. And so there was information gathering, but then there was also like the level of I'm taking action, but I didn't jump all the way in until I had closed about I think it was like 5 or 6 deals, right? After all was said and done, in my bank account, I had like, I don't know, $6,000 or $7,000. And that's when I decided I can go all in on this, because if I have closed, this 6 or 7 deals part-time and generated all this money, and I have like $7,000 in reserves, man, imagine what I could do if I was full-time in this business. That was in 2018. I'm like, man, so I made the choice, dude. Made the choice, and I jumped in. Now the interesting thing is,
so I think you just hit on like a critical thing here. Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I think that you talked to me. So you said, you started like you were on YouTube, you were looking at everything, you were consuming, you're getting hyper focused, like of consuming all this material that you could find on the wholesaling space. Were you consuming that and then putting what you were learning into action immediately? Or were you going from thing to thing to thing, thinking that you need to learn absolutely everything before making that jump?
No, I was taking action while I was learning, bro. I was taking action while I was learning. I just needed to know, what are my next steps? What's 2 inches ahead of me? Okay, cool. I could do that. But bandit signs? Okay, I can go get bandit signs. Connect and network? Okay, cool. I can go have some business cards made. I'm gonna start connecting with title agents and escrow officers and real estate agents and contractors and passing out cards. And and driving for dollars and making phone calls. Like,
Dude,
those were the
all right, so
Go ahead.
Here are my two big takeaways for you. You guys are watching, right? The name of the show today is The Blueprint to Successful Wholesaling, right? So here are my two key takeaways. Number one, there is enough free information out there for you to get started, right? We are literally living in like the best time to be alive. We can find out how to do anything if you just dedicate the time towards learning it, right? So there's the information out there and it's free. But it doesn't mean anything if you're not going to put it into action, right? You have to consume something and then put it into action to show yourself the compound effect of like, if I put these practices into play consistently, what type of results does that yield, right? So my two big takeaways are it's free and you got to take what you're learning and put it into action in real time.
Facts.
All right. So talk to me about you were like, I'm in, like, I'm all in, I'm going to make this happen. From the day you said, I'm going to do this, right? How long did it take before you got your first deal closed and funded?
It was about 45 days, Ryan. And let me tell
5
you,
days?
about 45 days.
4 or 5?
Yeah, about 45 days from going all in to getting my first deal. It was a $14,000 deal. I went completely broke about 4 or 5 days before the deal actually closed. And when I say I went completely broke, what I mean is I invested the majority of that $7,000 that I had in my account. I invested the majority of it into the marketing campaign. Only had a couple $1,000s for monthly expenses and all that. And I remember, Ryan, going to the gas pump at the Valero right around the corner from where I used to live. I remember filling up the gas tank. Okay, I put the hose back. I sat in my car, and something. Oh, my man Ryan lost a connection. But anyway, I'm gonna finish telling the story. This is 5 days before that first closing when I went full time. Pumped the gas, sat down in my car, and something told me, check your bank account. Check your bank account. And I looked at my bank account, and my goodness, it was overdrafted. It was overdrafted from the gas. It was overdrafted from the gas, man. And it was so stressful because the deal was that was on a Friday. I remember that. The deal was supposed to have been closed already, but there were delays to the deal closing, and it wasn't going to be able to close until the following Tuesday or something like that. My bank account is overdrafted. Good thing I just filled up my tank. At least I have enough gas to get me until Tuesday. But I remember that weekend, I was like, I'm not going nowhere, man. I'm overdrafted in my account. I'll eat what's at the house, man. And I'm not trying to waste my gas on nothing. But then that first deal hit 45 days after going full time, and a $14,000 check I was able to cash out on that Tuesday. And I remember, man, just being so like that level of satisfaction and having those funds in my account as proof of concept that I can actually do this. Like this will actually work. There's very few things like it. Very few things like it, man. So guys, the theme of today's show is the blueprint to a successful wholesaling company. And while my man Ryan is making his way back, I think our connection keeps getting interrupted, but it's all good. We go with the punches. That's what we do as entrepreneurs. We roll with the punches. The theme is a blueprint to a successful wholesaling company. I want to go over the 4 components to a successful wholesaling company. And this is what we're going to be breaking down this evening at 6:30 p.m. whenever we do our boot camp. For those of you that don't know, we have a live training going down this evening at 6:30 p.m. and we're going to be breaking down every aspect that you can start utilizing, every aspect that you need in order to start building a multiple six-figure, 7-figure wholesaling business that's operating without you and better because of it. We're going to be going in detail on these items. And basically what this looks like is, number one, it is the lead generation for your company. Number two, it's the converting those leads to contracts. Number three, it's fulfillment, which is the predictable formula for determining the exit strategy and finding a buyer, as well as transaction coordination. And then number four, it is finance. And basically what we're going to be doing, guys, is going into a deep dive on these four components in your business, and then we're going to be utilizing that information, giving you guys homework to make it happen for the rest of the quarter, the rest of the year. What up, everybody who's watching right now? In all of our platforms, we have 60 people live. Shout out to YouTube, shout out Facebook, shout out those of you on our LinkedIn platform, those of you on the Facebook page and the Facebook group. We love you guys. Where are you guys tuning in from? Where you guys at? What's up, Roger, Valerie, Alexander, Isaiah? What up? What up? It's good to see you guys. All right, I don't know where my man Ryan Wilkerson is. I think his connection just got cut pretty heavy. But we got Vegas in the building. That's what's up. I love it. We got San Antonio very heavy. Minneapolis, what's goody, what's goody. We got Indianapolis in the building. I love to see it. All right, here's what we're going to do, y'all. I don't know where my man Ryan is, but what I'm going to do is really quick. I'm going to put a link for today's boot camp. I'm going to put it right here in. We got Houston in the building. What up? What up? All right. I'm going to put a link to today's webinar right here in the comment section. Boom. All right. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Bear with me. Today we're doing a webinar at 6:30 p.m. CST. Okay. And basically what it is breaking down step by step how you can build a multiple six-figure wholesaling operation from scratch on a limited budget that runs without you and better because of it. Okay, the link is right here in the comment section. It's free. We're doing it absolutely free. All right, it's not a pitch fest. Y'all know how I operate, man. I really want to serve the community. I really want to help you guys. And there's many of you who cannot afford mentorship. There's many of you who cannot afford to invest in that way right now. But what you can invest is time, because there's enough free resources out here to help you get to your first, even your second and third six figures before you hire a coach to help you accelerate your business to the next level. So I put the link right there in the comment section. Go register for the boot camp. It's going to be about 2 or 3 hours. Me and Quinton Flores are going to be running it together this evening. I can't wait to see you guys there. Much love. Talk to you guys soon. Until next time, let's get it.
We made it, that's facts, ayy. We the greatest, that's facts, ayy. Prices raising, that's facts, ayy. That's right. But we paid it, that's facts, ayy. I did. They hate it, that's facts, ayy. Cause we changing, that's facts, ayy. We did. Can't blame them, that's facts, ayy. Cause we made it, that's facts, ayy. Cherry on top, that's a goat, yeah. Where you been, I wanna know, yeah. Greatest story ever told, yeah. Greatest story ever told, yeah. I know you wanna look up for this. Baby, let me turn you up a bit. You said you made it through hell and back. Give me the scoop, baby, tell the facts. Don't be shy.